Hey everybody. So once again, the topic for this week is Manifest Destiny. You have four primary source documents here, which means that they were documents that are, or things that were written or published from the time period. So they can be a little bit difficult sometimes to interpret, and so I want to go over the slides with you one at a time. The sources as they're labeled. This source, source one, is by John O'Sullivan. The newspaper editor, 1845, coined the phrase manifest destiny. And this is titled The Great Nation of Futurity, 1839. O'Sullivan says, "Our national birth was the beginning of a new history, the formation and progress of an untried political system which separates us from the past and connects us with the future only." Okay, so the first question for this slide is, what does John O'Sullivan mean when he says national birth? When do you think this was? Well, think about our nation, the United States, as we've talked about it from its genesis, the very beginnings. What represents the beginning, the birthmark of the United States? Well, if you're thinking our winning our independence from Britain and the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, you would be correct. The birth of our nation was when the Founding Fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, stating that we would rather die fighting than further be allowed to be ruled, allow ourselves to be ruled under Great Britain. Okay, so let me continue. And so far as regards the entire development of the natural rights of man in moral, political, and national life, we may confidently assume that our country is destined to be the great nation of futurity. Yes, we are the nation of progress, of individual freedom, of universal enfranchisement. We must carry onward to the fulfillment of our mission. Now let me pause there. When you hear futurity as a word, and John O'Sullivan is using this to tell us what's the root of futurity? The word itself. If you're thinking future, you're correct. He's saying we are the nation of the future, and our examples echo throughout the entirety of the civilized world. We must carry onward to the fulfillment of our mission, to the principle of our organization, to bring freedom of conscience, freedom of person, freedom of trade and business pursuits, universality of freedom and equality. All this will be our future history, to establish on earth the moral dignity and salvation of man, the immutable truth and beneficence of God. America been chosen. Her high example shall smite unto death the tyranny of kings, hierarchs, and oligarchs, and carry the glad tidings of peace and goodwill. Who then can doubt that our country is destined to be the great nation of futurity? The second question that I posed for you on this slide is, according to O'Sullivan, what is America's role in the West? All of this is relating to westward expansion, manifest destiny. What would you say that John O'Sullivan's message is to the American people in regards to westward expansion? Well, hopefully through his words, you're hearing him say that it's our right, it's our God-given right, our duty to take all of the things that make Americans who they are, our values, our morals, our way of life, our government, politics, everything which he sees and identifies as superior to all other countries around the world. It's our job to occupy the entirety of the continent, North America, all the way to the West Coast, so that we have this breeding ground for more of who we really are and our democracy. Hopefully that helps.